Alright, this is Pun Runner again. I'm going to try Q*bert Reloaded, rebooted. There's a difference. Basically, I got one kid playing with his friends, one kid doing an essay for college. So I am playing with myself today. My goals are to complete the level. Now this is a game back in the day where we didn't have an Atari, but my sister's grandparents did, and we would end up at their place for holidays and stuff. And you basically would stuff down as many cookies into your face as you could, and you would run down into where they had the Atari set up, and you would play all these games. And really, like, looking back, these games were terrible. I mean, it was like, they were good games because that was all that was there. It was like Pitfall and stuff, great game. Asteroids and Q*bert. Oh man, look at that. I gotta be careful with that. But it's these games now. My kids see these games, they're like, no, we're not playing that game. No thank you. But I mean, what else? We didn't have nothing else. I remember like Oregon Trail in school. Some places had the original arcade games. You go to the mall and you go in the arcade and you pump quarters into these things. And like now, as far as graphics have come, when you go back, you're like, really? This is what we had. And I mean, I loved it, but this is pretty much what I would expect from a Q*bert game right here. You go around, you gotta turn them all over. I don't know why we won. Oh, okay. So I got 2 out of 3. We're gonna go back, score at least 1,800 points. All right, so let's try that again. I don't know if it's a score thing or what. Here we go. We gotta try to go fast and get lots of points. Well, yeah, gaming was rough back then. And I remember my grandma had like a Tandy 1000 or something like that computer, where everything was pretty much like, I think there were like 3 colors or something like that. And I would play, I would sneak down. I would spend the night. I'd sneak down after they went to bed. Look at that jump right off the back. Come on, man. And I would play Leisure Suit Larry as a kid, and it had this age check. You'd have to pass an age check. There's a bunch of stupid questions to make sure you were old enough to play Leisure Suit Larry, and I wasn't. But I could pass the age check. So that was fun. And they had Wheel of Fortune. So that was my early childhood gaming right there. And then, like, I didn't see my dad a lot, but I went to my dad's house this one time and he had a Nintendo set up. That was when oh man, I'm doing terrible. When they first came out, when he had one, and I was like, this is really how I got my first Nintendo. We were playing it. I don't even know how old I was. I was little. And I was like, Dad, when you die, can I have your Nintendo? And I don't think he actually gave me that one, but I remember that's how I ended up getting my Nintendo. And man, that was the best. But then the other problem, like I got my Nintendo, got my first game system. Oh, I was lit, man. I was so just so happy. But it was like a 12-inch black and white television, and all we had was Mario. Which, when Mario came out, that was the business right there. I mean, I could sit and play Mario as long as I was allowed. But what happened is my sister's dad, him and his brother would get up in there and they would hog the Mario, and it was in like a closet, like a real small room. So there's two grown men sitting in there hogging my ill-earned Nintendo all the time, and I would have to just watch black and white Mario and Luigi over the shoulder of these two grown men. So that was the downside. But I still had fun. Lots of after school time jamming on that Nintendo. And it wasn't like now where you get sick of a game, you go in right through the system, you find another game, and there's free games to play like this one. It's not really free, but it's on the PlayStation now. You would actually have to go and rent games. Oh, I did it, y'all. I did it. Score 1800. We finally passed. Going level 2. But you'd have to actually go and rent a new game or buy it. And it's not like now you can go on YouTube and you just hit like Dr. Mario gameplay and it comes right up. You had no idea like what the game looked like. It could be total trash, and you rented it, and now you got to play this horrible game all weekend. And you're stuck with it. Half the time the instructions were missing. I mean, luckily there was only 2 buttons and a directional pad, but sometimes it was still a mess. And I remember like renting the same game over and over again, which is silly in hindsight. I mean, if a game's that good, you'd think somebody would just buy it for you instead of renting it for you over and over again. But I remember Mario 2, when Mario 2 hit the shelves. Every time we go to the video store, you know, like every couple weeks, I'd be like, "Oh, can I rent Mario 2?" And it was a different game from Super Mario Brothers. But you could play as the different characters. Oh man, I'm talking too much. I'm jumping right off the map. And you could play as Toad, I think, the princess, Luigi, Mario. You could like float and stuff a little bit instead of just straight up jumping. You could pick up plants. So that was pretty good. But this type of stuff is where it started, man, is on Atari. But they just don't hold my attention like they used to. Oh, see, I didn't fully finish level 2. Jump on the disc. All right. But what happened is, like, as far as holding my attention span, Call of Duty ruined me for most other games, because it's so fast paced and there's so much action that it's like sensory overload, and you try to go back and play a slower paced game and that intensity is not there. So I have a bunch of retro games I'd like to sit down and play through, but it's hard now. like our Path of Exile series. I can't seem to, just can't seem to get into that style game. And even games that I've loved throughout, you know, my whole gaming life, like Fallout, even that seems just kind of slow and lonely now. You don't get that multiplayer feel and that level of action. It's just the fast-paced action. But we just recently got Fallout 76. I've been putting off playing that because to me it felt like it came out. Oh man, look at that. Game over. To me, it felt like it came out too close behind Fallout 4. I played Fallout 4 for a long time, well into the release and after of 76. And I heard a lot of smack about Fallout 76 not being good, and we just never got it. But it was on sale. We scooped it up. I've got maybe, look at this, I'm talking too much. Maybe an hour into the game. It's not even a quality hour. It's a low quality hour. But we're gonna figure that out. We'll have some footage up. But I thought it'd be cool to run through another classic type of game. I mean, this isn't obviously. This is way better than Q*bert was back in the day, with graphics and colors and all that business. But I thought it'd be fun to run through real quick and just give it a shot. And it's pretty much what you would expect from Q*bert. So I probably ain't gonna keep going too long with this game. I'm gonna. Oh man, right with the balls. Oh, that's not good. And then the snake. But, yeah. But anyway, I thought I'd share. I felt like sharing today. I'm jumping off the back of Q*bert tiles. But if you like talking about old video games or listen to somebody else ramble about old video games, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'm gonna keep doing it just for fun. But yeah, thanks for watching. If there's any games you'd like to see me try out and probably fail at, leave a comment and I'll see what I can do. Thanks again, y'all.